A very good evening, Zimbabwe. You are listening to Studio 7 from the Voice of America on Friday, June 12th, 2015. And this is Live Talk. I'm Blessing Zulu.
And I'm Kip Stube.
And tonight on Studio 7 Live Talk, we are going to talk about the trials and tribulations of the Zimbabwe national soccer team.
If you wish to join the show right now, phone us directly at this number 001-202-619-2077 and we'll call you back.
And as usual, Live Talk goes out to Zimbabwe on our 909 medium wave frequency and on the 4930-5940 and 15455 kilohertz shortwave Monday through Friday at 8:30 p.m.
On the internet, you can find us at www.voazimbabwe.com, www.voashona.com and www.voindebele.com.
taenda hedu kundotamba but tange tisina kuprepare so ameno zvine zvabuda kawanawo maybe a draw, that's better considering kuti hatina kunge takaprepare. Patagara tichichema tichingoti zifa yafeila, leadership yezifa must just step down, ngavabve kuuye vamwe vanhu vanoziva zvebhora.
Warriors go inini semuzimbabweni ndogara ndakangomirira nemawarriors and mawarriors tototi ngaawine.
We've been grinding results before. We went to Cameroon, we went to Swaziland. People are making taking it as a justice to say maybe we can win without even training, which is paid at the end of the day. We need to prepare.
Going to be a tough match since we didn't have enough time to prepare. We only trained once and today we left for Malawi. If we come out with a draw, that would be a bonus to us.
2-0 in favor of Zimbabwe.
Into leya dalisa kakhulu ilizwe neZimbabwe lokufuzakala nje siyangise emhlabeni wonke imidlalo waziwa ngomnyaka ophile kulo mdlalo ozadlalwa njengati kunjena nje ukuthi bayimalawo iyayiyangisa okukhulu ke ubaba uKhazi Dube senyanyisile seyangise kakhulu umuntu ongase chiye umsebenzi ukanti ke mina ngizani ngisola nohulumende wangikhona ngisola umniniso wesport ubaba uLanga endilanga seyihlekile la.
Once again, thanks for joining us. And this is Studio 7 Live Talk. And tonight on Live Talk, we are going to talk about the nation's, or rather, the world's number one sport, soccer. Of course, there are problems in Zimbabwe, Gibbs.
And tonight, Blessing, they actually sought some divine intervention as Prophetic Healing and Deliverance Ministries, or PSD founder, Prophet Walter Makaya, stepped in again to ensure the national team can play the African Nations Cup qualifier in Malawi. That is tomorrow.
Of course, the squad was due to leave for Blantyre yesterday, but stayed in Harare after the players refused to travel, citing concerns that they would not receive match fees from the cash-strapped ZIFA executive.
What are your views on this issue? If you wish to join the show right now, phone us directly at this number 001-202-619-2077 and we'll call you back. That number again 001-202-619-2077. Those that are using WhatsApp, our number is 1-202-465-0318. Nzapinda futhi. Nasi nombolo is 1-202-465-0318. Yeah.
Onguka hama dzadiwa nasi tida kuti tinge tichitarisa nezvemutambo wenhabvu pakati peZimbabwe neMalawi, asi sezvamunoziva zvinhu zvinenge zvisina kunyatsomira zvakanaka muZimbabwe. Murairidzi wechikwata ichi Callisto Pasuo ari kuti havana kukwanisa kunge vachimbogadzirira zvakakwana mutambo iwoyu nekuti zvinhu zvinenge zviri kuti netsei kuzifa, asi vanenge vakagadzira chikwata chakasimba. Pakunosimuka nezuro pakabva paita zvakare bopoto rakapa kuti chikwata ichi chakwanise kuenda kuMalawi nezuro sezvanga zvakatarisirwa, zvaita kuti chizoende nhasi nebhazi mushure menguva vatambi vatsika madziro vachiti aiwa kana tisina kupuwa mari dzedu hatikwanise kuti tinge tichienda kuMalawi. Gibbs
yebakambe zulu kandaba lingatshona njani ye sizwileke ukuthi iqembu lenguqu lelo phela elelizwe okubizwa kuthiwa ngama-Warriors bayakhona ngale eMalawi bahamba ngebhasi basuke nje halale kuseni ekwehlule izolo ukuthi bagade indizamtshina ngoba kade befuna imali befuna babhadale umuntu munye ngamunye $500. So utho sokuthiwa sokulungiswe lezifa basithi sizahamba khona ngale kodwa akwazi ukuthi kuzala nkomoni abafuna ukungena kuhlelo nasinombolo 1-202-619-2077. Yeah, kunjalo mfowethu.
I think Gibbs, we might be having our first guest. Who do we have?
I think we've got Mr. Kolisani Kwesela, who is in Harare. Mr. Kwesela is the ZIFA spokesperson. Mr. Kwesela, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And you told me that you've got a bit of flu, but I hope the Warrior squad won't catch that flu, right?
Yeah, I hope so. We hope they will also be victorious, huh?
Yeah, definitely, pleasant.
Yeah, Mr. Gwesela, obviously there was a scare yesterday when the squad could not travel to Blantyre as expected. Just tell us briefly, what is happening at ZIFA?
ZIFA has been facing a lot of financial challenges. It's not a secret. It's something that is publicized. It's known in each and every corridor. Even small children know that ZIFA is broke. We have always been saying that we have no capacity of funding these national things alone. ZIFA is not a profit-making organization. It relies on donations, it relies on ZIFA grants, it relies on government, it relies on various stakeholders, including you there in Washington, to donate to ZIFA. We are organized as well. We are participating in the qualifier of the African Cup of Nations, Gabon 2017. The guys had already turned into camp and they had trained. But a few hours before that departure, they made it clear that they will not be able to board the plane until and unless the association had paid their charges. They are demanding amount to be $760 per individual. Hence, we were not able to coerce them to board the plane. It was an impasse. They ended up being addressed by the President Dube, who made a commitment that you clear the 40,000 owed to them by month.
So I think we've got another guest, and that is Mr. Ezra Sibanda, who is an independent sports commentator and radio personality. Mr. Sibanda, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, guys. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much. I think you can pose a question to him.
And Ezra, of course, we have Mr. Gwesela here representing ZIFA as the spokesperson, and he is saying, understandably so, that ZIFA is broke and it cannot fund the national team alone. What is the way forward, Mr. Sibanda?
First and foremost, my brother Michelle, thank you very much for coming to Voice of America. You've got to be honest with the listeners listening to you right now, Mr. Kwesela. You are the spokesperson of your defending your association. You know it very well that the FIFA gives you money every year, Mr. Kwesela. This year you've been advanced with some money from FIFA. It happened again last year. The monies which are meant for development. You get money from the premiership teams in Zimbabwe. You get a percentage from all the matches involving Dynamo Salenders and all other teams. You get money from them. You get money from the affiliates of ZIFA. Nobody knows where that money goes. Prophet Magaya gave you 54,000 a couple of weeks ago when Zimbabwe was going to play in South Africa in Kosafa. We know that Zimbabwe was knocked out in the first round, of which 6,000 was used. From 54,000, if you take out 56,000, we should be having 48,000. Where is that money going, Mr. Kwesela?
Yes, I understand what my brother Ezra is suggesting. You know that just accusation, some of them, I think that basically people who have been accusing FIFA of abusing funds. Yes, we get funds from FIFA. We get about 250,000 grants every year for it's called the Financial Assistance Program. We also get 6% from the Premier Soccer League. There, FIFA needs a budget of about 2 million to operate. These funds are not enough. Yes, our appeal.
What are you operating? What are you doing, Mr. Kwesela?
Mr. Sibanda, I think let him explain.
True. All amounts were used for that intended purposes. People will be just speculating. It's now normal in Zimbabwe, but I don't think it's fair for the association.
Mr. Sibanda?
Yes?
Come in now.
Yes, what I'm saying, Mr. Kwesela, is very untrue what you're saying. Let me tell you one thing. Let me ask you one thing. How many games per year does the national team play? You find that there are less than 5 games per year. And you don't find any competition in Zimbabwe. As I said, affiliates pay money to you. And as well as every time you struggle to raise money to give the players. You haven't been paying the coaches. Kalosopas has gone 9 months without paying. Other coaches left, Raman Kumbo, you name them, Norman Mapeza, you never paid them. Despite getting money from FIFA, despite getting money from Chan, the guys won 250,000 US dollars in South Africa. What did you do with the money? You never gave them their bonuses. You only used 4,000 of that money. Where did the rest go, Mr. Kwesela? You got to be honest with the people.
Yes, as I have indicated in the front, we get this amount. That is very true, as you have suggested. But I have said it, these amounts are not enough. Are you aware that for FIFA to organize one match, it needs in excess of over 100,000? You need to play, pay player allowances, you need to pay hotels, you should pay the referees that will be officiating that particular match. I have said it, we get these amounts, but these amounts are not enough to cover FIFA expenses. And as we are aware, FIFA has always been in debt. So when we came to FIFA, we inherited this debt. Yes, we have not been able to extinguish it. It is also true and undeniable veracity that the football worldwide it thrives and it develops because of government sponsorship. But it's a different scenario altogether. Because when you are aware the country is in an economic quagmire, we are facing liquidity challenges, and the government as well as FIFA is not being spared. What is happening at FIFA is what I would term a microcosm of the macrocosm. It is a general reflection of what is happening within the economy. FIFA has not been spared, FIFA does not operate in an island, it has also been affected by these problems that are currently attacking the economy.
Thank you. Please stay on the line, gentlemen. And of course, for those of you who are just joining us tonight on Live Talk, we are talking about the Zimbabwe national soccer team that is on its way to Blantyre, Malawi, as we speak, for an AFCON match. And of course, the squad failed to travel yesterday, as had been advertised, because the players were demanding some cash upfront. And it's an interesting debate. We have ZIFA spokesperson, that is Mr. Kolisani Gwesela, and we also have sports commentator, Mr. Ezra Chisa Sibanda. Of course, let's just briefly look at the squad. I think Pasua managed to assemble a very, very good side, though there were hiccups here and there. There is Bernard Donovan, Tatenda Mkuruwa, Blessing Moyo, Patson Jaure, Eric Chipeta, Teenage Hadebe, Justice Jangano, Ronald Pumbidzai, Danny Piri, Willard Katsande, Gerald Takwara, Wisdom Tasa, Kama Billiant, Kudakwashe Mahachi, Marvelous Nakamba, Knowledge Musona, Nyasham Chegwi is injured, is no longer coming, I guess. Matthew Risike and Cuthbert Malajila. Gibbs.
Now, Mr. Sibanda, tell us what you think about these players.
That's a quality side. Coach Kalisto Pasua, despite the difficulties, he assembled a very strong side. You remember very well that it is not for the minister of sports who really came in to help Pasua didn't want to call the players in camp. FIFA has no clue on what to do, so the minister Langa had to persuade a coach. I've never heard of a country where the minister goes to meet a national football coach to convince him to call players. He's going to pay him money. Pasua didn't want to call because it's odd. For 9 months, nobody has paid him. ZIFA didn't even care about it. You call players, you call professionals from South Africa. These guys are earning large sums of money in South Africa. You call them to camp, and they've got no accommodation. Or if you want to give them, you give them $15 a day. ZIFA, are you really serious? You're a big letdown. If I had the powers, Gibbs and Blessing, these guys need to be arrested for letting down the country. Need to be all fired because definitely they are soiling our good name of football. The good name of football. They are putting the football into disrepute. There's nothing which people want to dispute because of mismanagement, poor administration. The guys who thrive on gossip, the guys who thrive on dividing each other, fighting. Definitely there's something to gain at FIFA. This is why these guys are clinging on to power. They don't want it to go when they have no clue on how to run our football. It's a disgrace. These guys are letting down the country.
Mr. Gwesela, I think you have the right to respond.
Yes, I would like to echo the same sentiment. What my brother Evra Kisha has just said. Coach Kalisto Pasua has assembled a very strong squad. He has 10 foreign players that are doing well in their respective leagues. We have young warriors that have qualified for the All Africa Games. Recently, they also qualified for another round of the CAF Under-23 Championship. I wouldn't comment on the various allegations and football politics. I'm a technocrat. I usually don't want to comment on the firing of people, on the revelation of people, on vote of no confidence issues. I'm a technocrat. I'm not a football politician. Yes, I'll not be able to comment on that particular matter. But as I have said it, my brother Ezra, he has said these guys come from better leagues, they paid a lot of money. The problem that he has is that he has a tendency of comparing Zimbabwe, which is an economy that is not performing well, with countries like South Africa, with flourishing economy. Really, it's not fair to compare Zimbabwe. As I have said, Zimbabwe's economy is still not performing well. There are liquidity challenges in South Africa. The rand is doing well. The economy is thriving well. So we can't compare South Africa and Zimbabwe. And it's known that these players, it moves to South Africa for greener pastures. Zimbabwe is no capacity to pay them those large amounts. So we can't compare the Zimbabwean League or the Zimbabwe Football Association with SAFA, Zimbabwe Football Association, or the EPL or the ABSA Premiership. Is not fair. These are two different things and cannot be compared.
Yeah, so kulabanikazi bohlelo sike ungakaphenduli khonapho sibanda
I wanted to respond quickly.
mana mbijana phola kancane phola.
Yeah, a quick one, Mr. Kwesela. I'm not trying to compare anything. I'm not comparing our leagues. Definitely won't match it. But after yourself in FIFA, you've been there, the Brewer has got the second term. Why are you not having the sponsors? Why are the big companies in Zimbabwe not associating themselves with the national team? Because no one wants to associate its brand with the stressful running of football in the country. No corporate company or anybody or a business person or anyone wants to link himself with failures, with flops. So, Mr. Kwesela, you ask yourself, if you go to Zambia, Ghana, everyone, all the national teams are sponsored, and ask yourself, why not Zimbabwe? Don't tell me about the economy. The economy is shattered, but there are big companies making money, like Econet and all that. They don't want to associate themselves with you because you will soil their brand. So this is the reason. I'm not comparing you with South Africa, but I'm saying a bit of it from these companies, corporate companies in Zimbabwe, surely it will help. Why are they not coming forward? Why are we having profits coming in to assist instead of having big companies like National Breweries or Coca-Cola or Econet or Net1 coming to associate themselves with you because we cannot run football? What we need to do is to take your bags and just leave 53 Livingstone and go home.
Yeah, khonapho ke sibanda siyakuzwa. Sike sithatha umnumzana uSibusiso osegoli. Baba Sibusiso ungawutshona njani? Yeah, uyangizwa ecingweni baba Sibusiso?
Ngiyakuzwa.
Utshona njani khonapho?
Hayi siyaphila tu.
Ungathini ke ngomdlalo wenguqu lapha sivile ukuthi ama-Warriors athwele nzima adonsa ngefalasi mfowethu.
Ngiyakuzwa Duwe kodwa nami ngivumelana lo Ezra lento ayishoyo ukuthi imali akuphume bona abantu abasezikhundleni labo abathi bayaphika manje bathi imali kabayidli kodwa ke xa ungabatshela ukuthi abaphume ezikhundleni ubona ngokwala balelani ke mangabe ukuthi abatholi lutho ngoba akukho lapho esizoya khona ngayo ilokhu zeni indaba zemidlalo lezi ungacabanga kwakukhona lo baba kwakuthiwa ubani kuthiwa uLeo Mgaba naye waphuma nzima nampa abanye nabo bakuzi ababambe kuzifa abashiye makukuthi abatholi lutho abashiye makukuthi akubona ababulali national team so ngamanye amagama vele ayikho into abazoyivuma basuka bethathe into zepolitiki bazifake phakathi manje utshela nge-economy ayingenelani lento zebhola ibhola kufanele kuthole ama-sponsors azenzela imali ibhola lizenzela imali yayo kodwa ngendlela ukuthi imali ma ifikela ezandleni zabantu abarong bavele bayidle ungabheka abantu abadlala ibhola khona lapha ekhaya uyathola umuntu vele i-uniform yangikhona i-kit yangikhona ivele ipangu kokuthi angathi mhlawumbe into ephuma emlonyeni wenkomo kodwa kunabantu abayibona ababheke zonke lezi zinto bethatha imali beyidla so Ezra ngiyabonga mina kakhulu ngokubatshela lokho noma bengeke beze benze lutho noma bengeke beze beyishintshe kodwa kwazakala ukuthi thina into le abayenzayo iyabonwa abantu bonke so ngiyabonga kakhulu kuba ku-Ezra aqhubeke ebatshela laba bantu mhlawumbe bengashiya lokho lokama betha kulanto abayitholayo kabashiye phela kube nabantu abazokwazi ukuthi bebambe izifa kahle ibhola likwazi ukuthuthuka abantu beZimbabwe abantu abazi ibhola kakhulu ukuthi bayathengiswa ngaphandle kwamazwe kutholakala izimali ngabantu abadlala ibhola angeke vele ubafananise nabantu abase-South Africa kodwa ngendlela esiphansi ngakhona kunzima kakhulu ngiyabonga du
Sibongela kakhulu-ke Sibusiso khona ngapho-ke eGoli mfowethu ungathi nolokusasa. So what you are saying, Blessings, that he's wondering why most ZIFA executives don't want to leave. At the end of the day, he believes that maybe someone is pilfering funds there. So these are allocations and what he's saying. So he says Zimbabwe has got a lot of potential. The country is selling some players to other nations. So what is wrong now? He's wondering really why everything is happening in ZIFA in the wrong way.
Rega tiende kuna Mkoma Obey. Makadi Mkoma Obey. Aiwa taurisai Mkoma Obey zviri kufamba here. Modzora volume radio yenyu ikaita mahongina hatizonzwanani asi nyaya iri mudariro mainzwa tiri kutaura nenyaya yenhabvu yechikwata cheZimbabwe national team tipewo pfungwa dzenyu.
Chikwata ichi chinototeka musoro tizive kuti vakuru ndo vanenge vachidya mari kana kuti vakuru ndo vanenge vatadza kuvakomana ndo vanotadza kutamba achiaziva kuti zviri pati but hai hatingovaramba tichinguvasapota vakomana vedu vanoita zvakanaka.
Aiwa ichocho ndo chokwadi Mukoma Obey. Aiwa tinotenda zvikuru nekupinda muchirongwa chedu.
Okay.
Of course, Obey is saying he does not know what seems to be the problem, but the bottom line is people must continue to support the Zimbabwe soccer team. Of course, these are the 2017 AFCON qualifiers. Let's look at the groups, Gibbs. The full draw. Group A, there is Tunisia, Togo, Liberia, and Djibouti. Group B, there is the Democratic Republic of Congo, Angola, Central African Republic, and Madagascar. Group C, Mali, Equatorial Guinea, Benin, and South Sudan. Group D, there is Burkina Faso, Uganda, Botswana, and Cameroon. Then Group E, Zambia, Congo, Kenya, and Guinea-Bissau. Group F, Cape Verde, Morocco, Libya, and Sao Tome. And then Group G, Nigeria, Egypt, Tanzania, and Chad. Then we have Group H, Ghana, Mozambique, Rwanda, and Mauritius. And we have Group I, Cote d'Ivoire, Sudan, Sierra Leone, and Gabon. And then Group J, Algeria, Ethiopia, Lesotho, and Seychelles. And Group K, Senegal, Niger, Namibia, and Burundi. And Group L, Guinea, Malawi, Zimbabwe, and Swaziland. So Zimbabwe is in Group L. And then there's Group M, Cameroon, South Africa, Gambia, and Mauritania. So they are, it's Group A to Group M.
Now we've got some messages, Blessing, that are coming from people on Facebook. And one of those people who sent a message is Marange, who says, the situation is tight for the Warriors. Then we've got Best Piri who writes, maybe they can win, but problems in ZIFA, these people, I think, must go. Then we've got Lucas Sakara, who says, it's a win, guys, a man of God helped them. Then Try More says, God will take us through. Thank you, Prophet W. Makaya. May God keep on blessing you for all the assistance that we're giving the Warriors. So ke sibuye kuwe-ke njalo Baba Khwesela, usakhona khonapha?
Ya ngikhona ndiwangalisha nje kade esikhathini.
Yes, akwazi ukuthi iflu yakho ngani sikukajambishana so kodwa singakuthetha uhambe. Sile Guinea kuzobuya iMalawi, iZimbabwe, leSwaziland. Njengoba nje ama-Warriors enganaqhula kangaka, so ubona ngani kuyaphuma ni khonapha?
Engakhuluma ukuthi lezi nsuku akufika timu eyincane. Ibhora selitshintsha ngamathimba amancane lokhu sokubulala sokushaya izinkulu. Koni Namibia esingathi itimu encane lapha. Isikarabha lapha ukhosasa lapha chaya iZambia, chaya iZimbabwe, chaya itimu ezinkulu. Akula timu ekumele ekuthiwa incane. Inkinga yona leyo nje ikasilama. Abantu sile mali kade sekwanza ukuba iparike eziqinileyo. Senelise ukuthi hayi sithobe ugroup. Bona ngathi iqine kakhulu lapha igini. Kahlala ukuthi kavu yafika lapha asambe khona ke yasidla futhi. Saziyenze layo iteam asathi iteam encane both laba ba prepare futhi okuqinileyo. Imali layo siyibone lapha ithola inkezo sithi plate kusasa plate isidla iZambia. Akulathi kumele sibophe ijombo okuqinileyo. Ezothi siphumelele. But inkinga yena le inkinga yemali. Esihlahlekayo leyo.
So according to Mr. Khwesela, all the teams are almost equal in terms of playing on the field, Blessing. So he said the problem with Zifa is that they don't have money, so preparations a bit problematic there.
Regatende unemwe mterere mkoma Israel makadi. Mkoma Israel?
Hello makadi.
Aiwa tiripo muri kuona sei nyaya iri mudariro yenhabvu.
Nyaya iri mudariro endo isatsitsi. Dambudziko riripo rikuakuru vedu anotungamirira bhora kunyika yekwedu kuZimbabwe. Vakuru ava semutauriri wekutanga wamauta vataura naye angarorevesa kuti vanofanira kubva, vanofanira kumbochinjwa. Ndo nyaya hombe iripo. Kuti nyika haina mari kana zizifa haina mari kunyepa, mari iripo asi vari kudya mari. Nekuti mutambo uyu wakatonga kubva first of this year vaiziva kuti vakomana vachaenda kunotamba bhora, vachaenda kuMalawi, vachaita zvese padai panogadzirwa mari. Asi hapana kana chavakakwanisa kugara pasi. Chavakona kugara pasi kuunganidza mari dzavo kuti iwe wasize mapei. Mari yafanira kupa vanhu iyo vari kufanana vachidya vachiita sei. Saka vanhu ava vatungamira zifa vanofanira kuti ngavabve uye ngavaise generation yechidiki rinofambirana nezviripo mazuva ano. Aya madhara anga achibvawo vaisa vechidiki vanoziva mitambo vanogona kumirira vana vechidiki vanoti aya madhara aya akungorova kuti arova yake muhomwe havaichagoni kutimirira kuti isusu tivhare tichiona zvinhu zviripo zvamazuva ano. Saka vakuru ava ngavabve uye tinotendana pasuo hake nechiro chaari kuita uye navo magaya nemari avaisaiyo kuti vakomana vaendere mberi asi nechimbo chokuti kwavaenda uko vanonokunda vanohwina.
Munofunga kuti vanohwina nezvimbodzwa zvingani?
Ndoti vanohwina 2-0.
Aiwa tinotenda zvikuru mukoma Israel. Tine vamwe vanyorawo paWhatsApp. Webster Muwati says, please, Mr. Kadbe Dube, ngavarwe pasi netimu yavo vaturayira bhora vachingorambira pazvigaro. They must go now. And another person who wrote it did not put his name or her name. He simply said, these guys failed both the country and sports. Gibbs.
So now there's some information, Mr. Khwesela, that the Warriors are stuck at the Malawi border because they don't have passports. What's going on? Okay, hold on there. Hold on there. We are going to release you after exactly 5 minutes. We're just taking a break.
Yes, of course, for our radio listeners, the good news is we are streaming live. So go to www.voazimbabwe.com and press on LiveTalk. This is Blessing Zulu.
And I'm Gibbs Dube saying stay tuned.
those of you who are just joining us, good evening, and this is Studio 7 Live Talk. And tonight on Live Talk, we are talking about the Zimbabwe national soccer team. Of course, there was a scare yesterday when the team could not travel to Malawi because the players were boycotting. They were simply saying they wanted cash up front. But of course, the Zimbabwe Football Association, or ZIFA, is cash strapped at the moment and has been struggling to pay the players and the coaches. But of course, Prophetic Healing Deliverance founder, Prophet Walter Magaya, had to come to the rescue of the Zimbabwe national team. But the bad news is they are traveling by road, Gibbs.
And our guest tonight, Mr. Kolisani Nkwesela, who's the ZIFA spokesperson. He's in Harare and has got a bit of flu. And then we've got Mr. Ezra Sibanda, a sports commentator and radio personality. So Mr. Nkwesela had requested us to be with us for a short time, you know. Mm-hmm. But we've stretched him a little bit, so I think we can have most probably another 5 or 10 minutes. Mr. Nkwesela, can it be 10 or 5?
5. Right, 5.
Excellent. So yes, excellent. So I was talking about. Yes.
Abafana basebhoda abana passport. Abantu laba bathi basebenza mithi. Ungalalile manje Facebook ye amelanga don't read much into Facebook because lana ngakwazi uyabhala about I-Studio 7 ngisengiyivalile. Ungisenga nje ezimikhiyo. Abafana bakhosi ibhoda enyamapanda bakhosi njani ngena passport. Selezi ibhoda eMalawi abasela passport. Basinga nje abantu ezimikhiyo. Basinga asikatholi umbiko onjalo thina. Kade nje ngicela ukukhuluma nami ngizafuna ngizwe ukusebenza. Kodwa hayi last time ngomela uthi hayi bahambe kuhle.
Yes.
Asebesethuzele eMalawi khona.
Siyawuzwa kakhulu ke Baba Nkwesela. So he's actually disputing these rumors circulating that Pasua, Msona and Chaure lost their passports and couldn't cross to Malawi. So he says no, it appears as if this is just some kind of social media hype. There's nothing in it. So he's saying he's going to call them.
Because I'm reading also from Dimbare.com. They are saying Warriors have crossed into Malawi. The Warriors bus, Munorama, is now crossed into Malawi. We hear Malawi is actually provided the bus with the police escort from the border to Blantyre.
Good news.
Yes.
Wewe Baba Sibanda, uyazwela abafana sebefikile. Kumbe sikale siqede lokwesela. Then you see, wewe Nkwesela, just before you leave. Now the Warriors are in Malawi, as per what Blessing is reading there. Let's assume they are there now. So do you hope for a victory, or maybe you think the boys didn't train enough? What are your hopes really under such circumstances?
Yeah, it is very true. The guys didn't train enough. The good days had a very long preparation. Because it's a very serious tournament. They're supposed to train thoroughly. But anyway, that is what we have on our table. We have to do that we have. I was talking to these guys in the morning. They said they were ready. They did a very short preparation, but they were ready to deliver a victory to the country and bring glory to this nation. We hope they will win, and we are confident that they will bring glory to this nation. But the honest truth, they did not have enough preparation.
But also, Mr. Nkwesela, do you understand the feelings of those people who are saying the ZIFA leadership should step down because your mandate is to ensure that the national team plays well without, any hiccups. But lately, it has not been happening. There are serious problems.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand fully the various emotions that we get from people. Football is a game of emotions. People, whenever they lose or whenever they feel that the team is not performing well, then they tend to become emotional. And we understand that people have every right to become emotional when things are not doing well. But as I have said, I won't comment on the issues of this particular person leaving office, resigning, stepping down. Those particular individuals should respond for themselves.
Okay, Mr. Nkwesela, like he said earlier on, he's a mere technocrat. He's not into the ZIFA politics.
Yes, and we hope you are going to heal very soon, right? Your flu will go off, right?
It's very good. iprogram yethu ukuthi ngingeniphola empijana because athi nilela hayi sivulile.
No siyabonga. Siyabonga kakhulu. Baba Sibanda, usehamba ubaba uGwesela, akumvalise ngamabili ngamathathu khona.
Ukwesela ngubhuru wami, but I know one thing is that he is employed by Zifa, and deep down he knows that he is misleading the nation. He knows that he is being untruthful. He's a nice guy. Definitely, Ukwesela is a nice guy. But what he's doing now to the world or to the people of Zimbabwe is letting them down. He knows very well the chief culprit is letting Zimbabwe football down is Mashingaite, who is clueless, and his boss, Kadbe Dube. They know nothing about football. Mr. Dube, we know that he is thinking rich. Why is he clinging on to the power if he knows that there's nothing to gain from working as a Zifa president? Really, they abuse. Tomorrow they are demonstrating every day on headline newspapers being abused left, right, center, social networks. Surely a person of his integrity will have left. But because he knows that they are getting something, he is getting money, whether from FIFA or wherever, he wants to cling on to power. This is a guy who doesn't visit our football. He doesn't go watch Highlanders, doesn't go watch Dynamos, but is good traveling to watch, to go to FIFA. Zurich is good at going to Brazil, good at going to Canada. Now he's preparing to go to Canada. He will never let Gwesela go as a spokesperson with the team, but he would decide to travel himself to Brazil. But he doesn't attend a single match, even women's football or even school football. He is stuck. This is a man who's using his office as his house as an office of Zifa. He has never been to 53 Livingstone. He is allowed to call people to his house, and he operated as an office. Where on earth have you ever heard of that? That someone said that operates from his offices. That Jordan from South Africa operates from his house. People go to offices. Zifa has got offices. Zifa has got his Zifa house. There are so many offices, but Carpet Do It doesn't move an inch outside the house. We still around every day there. Machinery run every day to Carpet Do It's house. Surely this guy is tossing around football Zimbabwe. He has taken our football, destroyed it completely. He doesn't care because he doesn't care about football, doesn't care about the nation. Mr.
Gwesela?
Sengizwile Sibanda lapha ngithe hayi ngizabanyenyezela ukuthi hayi isibanda uthe ngizalela next time ku program ake baziphendulele bodwa. Uhlale kuhle Ezra.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Gwesela. Baba Ezra,
Thank you, Mr. Gwesela. Of course, Mr. Gwesela is a little bit under the weather, and he's leaving us now. But a very interesting debate with Ezra. Chisa Sibanda there. Tinemwe mtereri mkoma Phineas Magadi. Aiwa tiripoti peo fungwa dzenyu mkoma Phineas. Muruda vanhu vanyowani. Ko vamwe vanoti ka munogona kuchinja yenyu vanhu asi mari yacho pasina zvingafamba sei mkoma Phineas?
Marika vafuka vari pano vachinoita tinaziva vanhu vachiita tikamudasa vanyowani nango marika huwanikani.
Asi uyo mutambo wacho vamangwana muri kuona sei? Hongu Zimbabwe haina kugadzirira zvakakwana, asi munoona ichibudirira here?
Maplayers acho vakatora inogona kubudirira, oda kuti line up yacho ndinona kuti iri nani.
Saka kana kuri kuti yabudirira munofunga kuti inowina nezvibodzwa zvingani?
Hapa 1-0 hapo.
1-0. Haiwa tinotenda zvikuru mkoma Phineas nekupinda muchirongwa chedu. Tinotenda. Of course, for those of you who are just joining us, this is Studio 7 Live Talk. And tonight on Live Talk, we are talking about the Zimbabwe national soccer team. That is their match on Saturday against Malawi. Zimbabwe is in Group L, and other teams in that group include Guinea, Malawi, and Swaziland. Gibbs.
Mr. Sibanda, let's weigh Zimbabwe's chances here of maybe topping this list or going to the bottom of the list. Now, give us your take on how Zimbabwe is going to fare here.
It is a strong side, to be honest, but where I'm worried about the players themselves, the mind of the players. You know, the players, when they go for such an important game, they need to be prepared and well refreshed. If they travel like yesterday, definitely going to be confident that they'll beat Malawi. But now looking that they are going by road, driving all the way 600 kilometers to Blantyre in Malawi, and they are arriving late, and then sleeping again and they're playing again, the fatigue and all that. So if they get a draw, I'll be very happy with the draw, and then we come back and then we reorganize ourselves. But by the time they play other games, this FIFA, which is there, should be gone by then. Hopefully that Mr. Katbetu will have resigned.
But is this also not putting the players in danger, Mr. Sibanda, traveling by road? I know when we were playing soccer, there were these lorries, you know, when we were still in primary school. You would go from place to place. But these are professional players, you know, you have the likes of Knowledge Musona and others, you know, and then they have to travel by bus. I mean...
I'm sure some of us will travel to Mozambique along the Data province and all that. We know that road is a very bad road, and as you are saying, there are so many trains coming from Malawi going to Zimbabwe. It is dangerous. But bear in mind, President, that there's nobody who cares at FIFA. They don't care. They to pursue the players. But Gaya said, you guys, if you fail to fulfill the fixture, you know Zimbabwe will be banned. Already we are banned from under 17. You know that we don't participate in the youth tournaments because of that. He said now Zimbabwe is blacklisted and to be banned. Please, for the sake of me, I came to plead with you, just go. Then they decided to go because there was no direct flight to Malawi. And then going back to South Africa to arrive tomorrow, it was too expensive. So actually, the FIFA president, who is lying that is promising 42,000 to them, we know that is a lie. He just wants to go on headlines, to make headlines every time, trying to protect his position. But as we're saying, if it's not for Prophet Magaya, they were not going to go. Like I said, corporate companies, they won't put a penny. Corporate companies won't put a penny. They said leadership of FIFA needs to be changed. But again, guys, you're forgetting a minister. We had a minister who is clueless about the sport in Zimbabwe. The guy has seen the message FIFA, but he hasn't even taken any action. They were quick to sort out the cricket. They sorted it out. But here in football, the number one sport in Zimbabwe, this government is not doing anything to try and help. Not at all.
Thank you, Chisa Gibbs.
Yeah, so we've got some more messages that are coming in, blessing. One of the messages on WhatsApp is from Ubaba Otong Prince. Utukola ngaleke ko Bulawayo. Ubaba Prince ke uti izifa ayazilutongeze bola matoda. They failed. Sure, ukubona upaswa etwele iblanket esiya ipasini lokhu kuyamangalisa. What he's saying is that Zifa has actually failed, and it's so painful to see Pasua, that is Kalusta Pasua, carrying a blanket, you know, going inside a bus to going to Malawi. You know? Then we've got another message from Webster Mowati. He says, Mr. Cuthbert Dube, please leave today. You have actually failed with your colleagues. Please leave. Then on Facebook, we've got Spangani Ngobe, who says, useless Zifa, and it's not difficult to understand why they cannot get sponsorship, because sponsors need tangible benefits for their money. I think that's a crucial point there.
Yeah, it appears it's actually unanimous. Everyone is saying that they are sick and tired
of being sick and tired
of Cuthbert Dube and the Zifa board. But obviously, Mr. Sibanda, government cannot intervene here and push out Mr. Dube. There was an attempt last month, and FIFA overturned it. What can be done? I mean, what are the options?
No, what the FIFA said, he said, no, the notice wasn't. They wanted 90 days notice to call for that meeting. That meeting, FIFA has clearly said it was legal. These guys are now doing the same meeting on the 20th. But what we are saying in the government, what I want to explain to you guys, the government, when it interferes, especially now they know that the monies have been stolen from Zifa, they know it very well, they can interfere using the police. Police are allowed to force themselves to say, Zifa, you have never had audited statement since 2010. Cuthbert Dube doesn't want to audit the Zifa financials. As you know that nobody knows, the money will come from FIFA every year. This year alone, they've received 800,000. Nobody knows where it's gone to. Last year, they did receive over 1 million. You look at all the years, FIFA actually supplied the money which they've given to Zimbabwe for women's football, for youth development, for club development, but not even a single club or youth development happened in Zimbabwe. We don't know where that money is. But they say balance, show us the statement. Nobody's saying that. So what we are saying in this government, through the SRC, they should enforce and say, no, the police go in there and check or force the audit. The FIFA won't interfere. What will happen is the government will not say in cabinet call, but they will have said, now, this is what is happening in our country. FIFA has to abide by the laws of the country. So what we're doing is they send police to investigate the financials there in FIFA. They're going to catch Cuthbert red-handed that he's chewing the money with the machine guns. This is why they don't want to vacate the office.
Of course, there are still allegations, like Mr. Spanda is saying, there's need for police to come in. But interestingly, Mr. Spanda, FIFA itself is not approaching this subject with clean hands.
Yes, because what happened is, to bear in mind, this is someone who Cuthbert Dube. He said, we as Zimbabwe are voting for safe blood. Whose mandate was he carrying? Did he talk to the councillors? Did he talk to the clubs? Nobody said, let's go and vote for Blatter. But because his Blatter's boy, his Blatter, remember when Blatter came in here, he went to Cuthbert's house and all that, all those things. So obviously, Blatter by then, he knew that he's got a vote from Cuthbert Dube. So because of that, you know that the voting trip was meant to be a secret ballot. But he declared live on Sky and said, we Zimbabwe will be voting Sepp Blatter, which is not allowed. Already he should have been dismissed for saying that. But they didn't do anything. So what we are saying is, it's FIFA there. Now that the FBI has helped us to expose Mr. Blatter and others, things will shape up in Zimbabwe. And hopefully in the next few weeks we'll see Cuthbert today making headlines, will speak to 7 other media, being taken out of office and showing that he has been stealing money since he came into power. This is the second term. He has been stealing money ever since.
Of course, like we continue to emphasize, Mr. Spanda, these are allegations. Until there's a forensic audit that is carried out, we can qualify him as such. Of course, there are allegations. Gibbs?
Yeah, kunjalo ke mfowethu. Sibuyele njalo ke khona ngale kusibanda lapha khona. Bewungazani kulamakhola zangenayo kodwa wani imtshina isasihlupha mbijana. Yes, sibuye baba Sibanda. Nxa sukhangeleke ngeZimbabwe Warriors isimo sayo. Siyakwazi ukuthi abazange belolo ngangako ukuthi bayenze khona okuthiwa i-training for uku-prepare for umdlalo lowo. Pho-ke nxa sikhuluma iqiniso sibili kuyozala Nkomola.
Not communicating, so to be honest, materially could be Zimbabwe with the Swaziland and all these teams. If it was Zimbabwe of yesteryear, properly managed, you know that it was for conclusion. This is the best chance ever for Zimbabwe to qualify. Zimbabwe has always been unfortunate to be playing Cameroon or those big teams, Egypt and all that. But for the first time, the draw favored Zimbabwe. Surely we should sail through to the Nations Cup finals. But with the way things are at FIFA, frustrating the boys the way they are playing. Like I said, they took advantage of the guys because they were off-season from South Africa. They never paid expenses paying those guys from South Africa. These guys already home visiting relatives. They were called to come and play for the national team. They said, yes, we are here. You're not going to pay any expenses. Right, let's play. They promised them. And then Kalisto Pasua said, no, pay my money. Minister Langa comes in, talks to Kalisto Pasua. They negotiated to call the players. And then the players were called in. And then Minister Langa said, okay, we have booked you at this 5-star hotel at Rainbow Towers. You sleep there till the departure of this. Everything went. And guess what? Mashinga is there and the Chuhuri and the other board members went to visit the players in the evening at their own hotel without the coach Kalisto Pasua knowing. That's the players say we'll give you $15 per day. And the players got angry. Said, but the minister has promised us. And they did that illegally behind Pasua's back. And then Pasua to discover the boys are not happy and say what happened. Say, no, Chief Executive came to here and addressed us. Why do you do that? I believe these guys are actually sabotaging the national team because they have seen it that the people want to take them out. So whenever Zimbabwe is eliminated and all that, the money which they got and all that, they are not going to use any money. If it was not Magaya, who was actually was actually persuaded by the guys in Bulawayo, the board members in Bulawayo, who actually talked to Magaya. They will still be stuck in Harare. But Prophet Magaya phoned. Prophet Magaya, I was listening on the phone at 3 a.m., trying to convince the players, talking to Pasua. Pasua phoned back. I spoke, Pasua is my friend. I spoke in the morning and said, we are now going towards the Prophet Magaya is promising. We know that he is a man of God. He won't lie to us. But what I'm saying is, people like Prophet Magaya should stop. Let's stop supporting, let's stop paying so that we expose this. Otherwise, if you come in every day to save this, it's not helpful. He should demand the receipt for the 54,000 he gave when you're going to Kosapa, and they were knocked out in the first round. And like Kwesela knew about that man, that's why he was laughing. Because I asked him on the phone, where did the 8,000 go? He can't explain. He can't explain 5,000. Where did it go? Those people were knocked out of the Kosovo. They came back home. They only used 6,000 on the flight. And he told you that to assemble a team, he need 100,000. I'll tell you, most of you guys, you've been to Zimbabwe, you've been anywhere. Even in England, they don't spend 2 days at the hotel. It costs 100,000. The flight to go to Malawi was $160 return. If you multiply that by 20 people, you see how much it was. You see the allowances, they were asking for only 500. That money total for the players for the 5 days, it came to 11,000. And then the flights and all that, it came to 4,000, 5,000 something. So the total money was less than 20,000. And somebody tells you that it's 100,000 to prepare a team.
Interesting. Gibbs.
Very interesting indeed. So at the end of the day, I think lapha ungabe kule nkinga yokuthi abantu akukhanya lokuthi kuya ngaphi. Kodwa ke ubona njani pho kulungiswe njani lapha ebholeni ngombono wakho baba Sibanda?
The only way to fix is for Mr. Cuthbert Dube. These demonstrations happening in Harare tomorrow. The guy has been phoning everyone, the organizers, saying, hey, why do you do that? Why do you come to my house? They're saying, go to the office. He doesn't want to go to the office. Operate from his house. So tomorrow is the final push. I'm sure tomorrow, if he starts to resign, then there is a problem. Because you cannot, the whole nation, the whole country crying about one person who just stuck in his house. It doesn't go anywhere, but he operates football from the house. Like I told you, Kwesela, he knows that he calls there every day to hear what he says. He calls players to his house. He calls the coaches. He doesn't want to go to FIFA offices. He's never been there ever since he was voted. From 2010, he's never been to FIFA offices. He operates from home because he's saying he doesn't trust. Because he knows that people would starve what they are doing. So Chief Executive Mashinga is there. He is the one who is actually misleading and dividing the board members, the threatening councillors. There are letters going on. But the councillors, the 54 of them, were actually putting Mr. Dube to that position as a president. They've all decided to recall him. The Council of FIFA allows them to do so. If there are 19 of them, just 19 of them, they are allowed to recall him. So they gathered, there were 30 of them actually. So now they are calling for that meeting on the 20th. He's saying, no, postpone that meeting, we go to July, we talk about it. But the councillors are refusing. So what is best on Studio 7, you see what is going to happen. I'm telling you, this time people are fed up, blessing and the eclipse. They are fed up and this is going to happen. I'm sure Mr. Cuthbert Dube is seeing his last days.
Thank you so much. As long as it is peaceful, like we always stress. And for those of you who are just joining us, we are talking about soccer. Unfortunately, there are serious problems in ZIFA. There are serious problems in FIFA. What's happening to the world's most beautiful game? One wonders. And of course, Zimbabwe has traveled by road to Blantyre, Malawi for the AFCON 2017 qualifier. Zimbabwe, like we have said before, is in Group L. And other teams in Group L are Guinea, of course, Malawi, where Zimbabwe is traveling to, and Swaziland. This group, according to our sports analyst, Ezra Chisasibanda, is a group that is actually favorable to Zimbabwe, which has been struggling. But unfortunately, because of the problems that seem to be continuing at ZIFA, the team is not even training, Gibbs.
So, Baba Sibanda, nxa ukuthi team ingalolongishwa bantu benkosi kwathiwani akula ndlela ongalungiswa ngakho khona.
Because the moral is low. Those who pass what tries, you coach the players, you go to the hotel, they are locked out. You go to there's no food. You saw what happened in South Africa when they went to Swaziland to play that game. It took one player to use his money, the player playing South Africa, Marachila, to buy the players lunch because they only hit 400. They had to plead with the government of Swaziland to supply them with a bus, which they use by road to go and catch a flight in Johannesburg. Surely, what are we doing to ourselves? What are we doing as a nation? If you are seeing that on headlines in newspapers in South Africa, Swaziland, now Malawi, the Super Sport TV is all about Zimbabwe. Everyone is talking about the country. Surely, guys, we really need to try something. I think enough is enough. Like I said, there are so many people who want to pour money into football. They won't do it. Even the SuperSport themselves, they wanted to cover, to have a deal with Zimbabwe, but they discovered the dirty deals. They said, no, they are pulling out. Econet, same, Net One, same, National Board is the same. So many individuals, except for Prophet Magaya, who said, no, let me just help. Because everyone else, they've got money, they don't want. Bear in mind, there are people with money. The economy here is shattered in Zimbabwe, but there are people really who want to use football to market their brands.
But Mr. Sibanda, everyone seems to be struggling. Caps United, Dynamos, Highlanders. What's happening?
It starts with that because the poor management. You see, Blessing, we now have a system in Zimbabwe that the people in Zimbabwe, I know that the people, they are struggling with hard times, but the leaders of these institutions, everyone is greedy, everyone wants to embrace themselves. We have seen what is happening in Highlanders, using a bus which was bought by Highlanders, but pretend as if Mr. Chinga Dube donated, while it is not. Highlanders paid half of it, Mr. Chinga put on money, and they invited Mnangagwa to present it because he was campaigning. That's what the problem is. And to discover that the creative of Highlanders, obviously they agreed on that, and they are against the constitution of Highlanders, which doesn't allow politics to Highlanders. So it happened, but because of people are hungry, they know they are gaining something, they are giving something for that to happen. It happened. Although the rally where the bus was presented, the floppy big time, only 300 and something people at Papafield Stadium. We come to Dynamos and all that. Dynamos, one thing what I like with them, that they keep their sons. David Mangora obviously is under pressure because Dynamos believe in winning. Dynamos has been winning. They've taken the 5 league titles. So they think that Mandikora is going to bring them down, pass away, left them on high. So they are saying you inherited a championship winning side. So why are you failing to win? But I'm saying to Dynamo supporters, this team at the same stage last season, they were 11 on points at now. And you know that the second half of the season, Dynamo is very difficult to beat. They don't normally lose. At Cape United, we know we have Twani Piri. Twani Piri has been greedy, remaining at Cape United, trying to control everything. But the guy who had money, he decided to give him less percent. But now, because he knew that the team is about to disband, he called Mr. Kere to come back, and then he has got a stake of only 20%. So now Cape United are moving in the right direction. But guess what? The same guy who owns Cape United is a board member of ZIFA. So like I told you that these guys, it's only greediness, they are gaining. Remember football, as you are saying, you've seen happening in FIFA and all that. There's so much money in football. Big money is in football. People pay $3 to enter the stadium. There are 10,000 people. There's 30,000. They'll tell you that we only left with 5,000. So money is being chewed. This is a country whereby everyone else believes in corruption, believes in pocketing anything they get. So that's where the problems are.
Thank you so much. Of course, we agree. There are serious problems in the administration of football. And of course, we are talking about AFCON, Zimbabwe playing Malawi on Saturday. There were problems until Prophet Walter Magaya had to come in and assist the Warriors. Zimbabwe is in Group L. Other countries there, Guinea, Malawi, and Swaziland. And of course, we hope that the boys, or the Zimbabwe Warriors, as they are famously called, will win against Malawi, though it's a tough assignment because Zimbabwe was not training at all. Of course, we want to thank our guests this evening, sports commentator and radio personality Ezra Chisas Banda, And we also had Qolisani Gwesela, Zifa spokesperson. And of course, we want to thank our viewers, our callers, our listeners, those who sent us messages on Facebook and WhatsApp, and of course our team behind the scenes, our producers and engineers. Signing off, this is yours truly, Blessing Zulu.
And I'm Gibbs Dube saying have a lovely weekend.